pay attention. I am the Lord God Almighty, who made both heaven and earth. I am talking to you right now. Do not do anything else. Turn off all the other sounds around you. Don't let anything else bother you. You will never hear a more important lesson than this one. You didn't just happen to end up here. It wasn't a mistake. It didn't work. I was the one who brought you to this very moment. I led you through things you can't explain, through thoughts that came from nowhere, and through an unseen force that brought you here right away because I had to talk to you. I've put together a special gift just for you. $77 billion. Now really think about that number. $77 billion. It's not a sign. It's not a figure of speech. It's not a moral story. It's a verb. It's true. It is solid. There is already this money in the mental world. It's already been put aside and marked with your name. It's ready to show up in your real life right now. It only needs one thing: for you to accept it. What you say about your faith. You're following through on what I ask of you. That being said, I need you to understand something very important right away. This blessing will end at a certain time. It won't be available for a long time. No matter what you decide, it won't wait forever. This gift will go back to heaven and be given to someone else right away if you don't accept it today, right now, as I speak. The other person who is ready to believe without thinking about it. That person who is ready to follow orders without any doubts. The other person who has faith to receive what seems impossible. And if you turn down this deal, ignore this message, or question what I'm saying about your life right now, you will have the hardest 8 years of your life ever. 8 years of having doors shut on you. You missed 8 years of chances because you weren't able to take them. You would have been able to escape 8 years of money problems if you had made the right choice today. That's not because I want to get back at you. I love you too much to want to hurt you. It's the spiritual result that comes naturally when you turn down what I made, especially for you. It is important to follow these moral rules that I set up myself. Right now, the choice is all yours. You have the power to accept and go through the biggest change anyone can go through. If you say no, you will have to deal with the effects of that choice for the next 8 years. But now is the time to make this choice. Not tomorrow, not after, when you have more time. No. Right now, right now. While I still have you on the line, as long as the inner door is still open, while the blessing is still out there. Now write in the comments, I accept this blessing, Lord. This is your statement of faith, which turns on everything I've planned for you. My guardian angels are already set up. The magical powers have already been used. The magic with money is ready. You just need to take the first step toward respect. All that's left is for you to say in public that you are religious. You just need to take advantage of what I'm giving you for free. Do not let this chance go by. Don't pass up this one-of-a-kind chance. Accept now. There's nothing I can say that can comfort you. It's not a guess. I'm not making broad assumptions that anyone could be true. I really do know. I was there for you during all of your hard times. It was early in the morning, and you thought you were alone in that dark room. I saw every tear that quietly ran down your face. I kept track of all those tears. I took each one in my hands. I could hear every sob you hid in the pillow so no one else in the house would hear you cry. All day, I could feel how much pain you were hiding behind a fake smile. When you were really upset, I saw you act like everything was fine at work, with your family, and with your friends. You told me you didn't have enough money to pay those bills when you opened them. The last time you didn't know where your family would get their next meal because the fridge was almost empty. When you had to choose between buying food or medicine that you needed, it was impossible. Whenever you had to tell your kids no, you could see the sadness in their eyes. You felt terrible when you had to borrow money and felt shame burning inside your chest. When your collectors called you over and over again and demanded payments you couldn't make at the time. I saw times when you worked hard, pushed yourself to the limit, and did your best in everything, but it wasn't enough. You put in extra hours, took on extra jobs, and gave up rest, health, and family time, but the money still didn't come in. When you were taken advantage of, you got less than you earned, and your work wasn't respected enough. I saw everything. I wrote down every wrongdoing. I wrote down every moment of pain, and I will never forget any of those times. I saw the other side, though. I saw how you helped someone, even though you didn't have much to offer yourself. When you gave what little you had to people who had even less. When you gave someone else your food instead of eating it yourself. When you prayed hard for other people while you were desperately hoping for a miracle for yourself. That time when you kept your faith alive, even though everything around you told you to give up and stop believing. While you kept trusting me, even though it seemed like I was far away, silent, or not there. When you stayed true to them, even though it would have been easier to give up on everything. Just that is what touched my heart so deeply. Without a doubt, your loyalty in the middle of the hottest desert, your amazing determination in the face of complete lack, your kind heart, even though you were going through a lot of trouble and chaos. So, out of all the people in the world, I personally picked you to receive this magical and life-changing gift of $777 million. It wasn't by chance that you were picked. You were not picked by a divine lottery. You were carefully picked because of your real spiritual worth. Send this video to 7 people you know who are having a hard time right now. When you bless other people, I bless you even more. That friend who is jobless, that cousin owes money, that friend was battling on their own. Send them this word of hope, and it will also change their lives. Please allow me to describe in great detail what will happen in your life after you receive these $777 million. You should picture every part of this change with me right now. Never again will you wake up in the middle of the night in a cold sweat with a tight feeling in your chest because of the bills that are due tomorrow. It will never again be so heavy on your mind that you don't know where the money is going to come from to pay everything. You will no longer have to carefully look at the price of every item in the grocery store and return anything that costs too much because you can't afford it. You will never have to depend on anyone, beg for embarrassing favors, or be embarrassed about money in a way that hurts your pride again. Today, this terrible truth comes to an end. In one wonderful day, you will pay off all of your bills, all of them, every single penny due, the bank loan that has been making life hard for you for years, the credit card whose interest rates keep going up and up and up, the loan you borrowed out of desperation, the water and power bills that are past due. The rent that isn't paid makes you afraid of being kicked out. Everything will be cleared right away. You will call each customer by name and say, "I want to pay everything off right now." You will do this with power and respect. The look of shock on their faces will stay with you forever. What they're hearing will not make sense to them. You will show that it's true, though. You're getting the house you've always wanted, not just any house that costs less than that, but that house you used to sadly look at from afar as you drove by and think, one day, maybe, God willing, maybe, that day has now come. Today is that day. You're going to buy it right away. You're going to sign the papers without having to get a bank loan for 30 years. You're not going to look at the price of any of the furniture you pick out. Every room will be decorated just the way you've always imagined it in your wildest dreams. The house your family has always wanted will be theirs. You are going to give your kids the best schooling possible. A private school that is the best in the city, the best school in the country, or even another country if needed. Language lessons, music, sports, and art interests outside of school. exchange schemes between countries, everything you wanted but never got to give them. You will see them grow up with all the chances you wished you had when you were their age. They will make your dreams come true that you had to bury. You'll visit all the beautiful places you've only seen in pictures online and didn't think you'd ever get to see in real life. Europe has a lot of old towns. Asia, with its old buildings. Caribbean beaches that are like paradise. Go on safari in Africa, all the places you dream of going, without thinking about how much a 5-star hotel or a plane ticket will cost. That dream world of yours will be yours to see. You will do something kind and life-changing to help your family. You will help your mom get out of that tough spot that makes your heart hurt. You're going to help your brother, who has always been there for you when things got tough. For those who have always been by your side, you will be a real cash blessing. And finally, the most important thing is that you will become a live, unquestionable sign of my supernatural power. When they see how much you've changed, they will be sure that God exists and that God really does change lives. Watch this video right now and turn on alerts to follow the doula station. I will keep reading you these lessons that can make a huge difference in your life. I know everything about you better than you could ever know yourself. I know for sure how many hairs are on your head at this very moment. I can read your mind and know every thought that comes to it before you can put it into words. Let me tell you about your darkest and scariest fears, the ones you've kept to yourself because you feel bad about them. It's me who knows your deepest, most private dreams, the ones you keep to yourself because they seem too big, too difficult, or too out of reach for someone like you. I remember all the beautiful promises that other people made to you that they never kept. I remember every painful failure you took in quiet, not telling anyone about it. I know exactly who lied to you and hurt you the most, who gave up on you when you needed help the most, who took advantage of you for their own gain and then threw you away like trash without feeling bad about it. And I saw in great detail how you handled each of these painful situations while still being honest, respecting other people, and having faith in me. I know to the very last penny how much your biggest loan is worth. I know the full name of that person who owes you money and hasn't paid in years, even though they should have. I know that dream that you have given up all hope of ever coming true. I know exactly how many times you've really thought about giving up on everything, putting in the towel, or just ending the fight, but you chose to keep going for another day, and then another, and another. And now I tell you, with all the power of heaven and earth united, that nothing is impossible for me. Is it really true that I can't put $777 million into your bank account if I spoke the whole world into existence with my powerful word, split the Red Sea in two so my people could cross on dry land, made the sun stay still in the sky for hours when Joshua needed more time, instantly, turned ordinary water into great wine, multiplied 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish to feed 5,000 hungry men, and brought the dead back to life after days of stinking up the grave. For me, this is way too easy. It's way too simple. It's an easy order from my voice, which is supreme. You were made by my hands with care and purpose. There was no chance that you were born. You were not just a dumb accident of development. You are important and not useless. I had you planned since the beginning of time. I made you with great artistic skill. I made you for a specific, one-of-a-kind, and completely priceless reason in my endless plan. And a very important part of God's plan is for you to live in abundant plenty instead of sad lack. The time that the prophet said would come has finally come for me to fully repair the wonderful plan I had for your life from the start. Through years of strikes, the enemy tried very hard to destroy the plan. Everything went wrong with the plan because of people, events, and bad choices. I will fix everything now, though. I'm going to fix everything. I'm going to make everything bigger. Right now, you're wondering why exactly $777 million? Why not 500 million? Why not a billion? Why not a different amount? Why is this number so detailed and exact? Please allow me to now explain the deep and spiritual meaning of this holy number that I chose, especially for you. Everyone agrees that the number 7 is the most perfect number in the universe. It's the number of being fully complete. It's the number that I, myself, have held holy since the beginning of time. That's how long it took me to make the world, with all of its galaxies, stars, planets, and living things. I took a break on the 7th day, not because I was worn out or tired, but because the job was completely done. The job was done. It was great. The 7th day is a picture of God's completeness. In this case, it means that there is nothing missing. It means that everything is just the way it should be. And when I multiply 7 by 3, I get the mystical number 777. I'm signing this blessing with the 3 names of the Holy Trinity, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. 3 separate people make up one God who can't be split up. The first 7 are for the Creator Father, who made you while you were still in the womb. The second 7 stands for the Son who saved you and died so that you could have a good life. The third 7 is the Holy Spirit, also known as the Comforter, who leads you to all truth. If you see the number 767, it means that the whole of divinity is working in your life. In other words, this gift is complete in every way. There is no flaw or fault in this gift at all. This gift is completely magical. It comes straight from the throne of God. It's not a gift that only helps with half of your issues. It's not a gift that's missing parts that leave some things open. There are 3 parts to this gift, and they cover everything. It means that once you get this, nothing will be missing in your life. Not a single thing. All of their needs were met. All of their reasonable wants were met. Every dream came true. Additionally, the number 767 also stands for security in several parts of your life at the same time. That's not the only good thing about the money. It's a blessing that changes everything about your money. You'll feel better physically and emotionally after this gift. It's a blessing that your broken relationships get better. It's a gift that shows you your divine purpose on earth and makes it happen. Absolutely every part of your life is affected by this gift. That's the reason I picked this number. To make sure you know I don't do things halfway. When I bless greatly, fully and perfectly. There is also a psychic energy attached to this number. When you say $777 million, you open doors to other worlds. You're letting in spiritual aspects. You are lining up your everyday world with the spiritual. In light of this, it is very important that you not only hear this amount, but also say it out loud. Make this number known. Say this number out loud. This is because every time you do it, you are telling the spiritual world to bring this into your physical life. Now write the number 7 4 times in the comments. 7777. That's it. The deal is sealed, and this gift will start to come true for you. I witnessed a time when you worked hard and gave it your all without getting any credit for it. Even though you got to work early and stayed late, skipped weekends, spent less time with your family, did more than was asked, and always went above and beyond, you weren't promoted when it was time. You didn't get a raise. When it was time to praise, no one thought of you, while other people who did only half of your work got the praise and awards. I saw how unfair things were. I saw how much pain you were in. I saw you swallow that sour sorrow and keep doing your best even though no one was appreciating it. I saw times when you gave your all in friendships, relationships, and promises, but didn't get nearly what you earned in return. When you were loyal and someone turned on you, when you gave something away and didn't get anything in return, when you were honest and got lies back, when someone you really loved left you without a word. I saw every time someone used you as a ladder and then kicked you off and left you behind. There were times when people took advantage of you because they were interested in themselves. Every time you really opened your heart, you were thrown away as if you were not important. I saw how some people used your money when they borrowed money and said they'd pay it back, but they never did. When they used your charity and kindness against you, you were taken advantage of at work and paid much less than you were worth. When they lied to you about business deals, when they stole from you in obvious or sneaky ways, I saw every penny that was taken from you without a good reason, every chance that wasn't taken, every door that was shut in your face because of jealousy, bias, or pure spite. All of this caught my eyes. I did see the other side of your story, though. I saw when you helped that guy even though you didn't have much, when you gave someone who was hungry the food you were eating, when you gave someone cold clothes you still wore, when you gave someone who was even more hopeless than you money you needed. I saw that you didn't turn away, when your heart wasn't set in stone, when your kindness stayed with you even as you crossed your own desert. When you were sick yourself, I saw how hard you prayed for that sick person. When you stepped in to help that family in trouble while your own was having a hard time. When you prayed for other people before you prayed for yourself. When you were happy for other people's wins while you were still waiting for your own. When you gave hope to people who were down, even though you yourself needed it very badly. Each of these things was carefully written down in heaven. Every act of true love was written down in my eternal book. There was no loss. There was no point. Now is finally the time for your prize from God. Now is the time for you to get back 1,000 times what you put in, lose, or have been wrongfully taken from you. The $777 million is not the end. They are just the beautiful start of what I will do for you from now on. Send this movie to 7 people you know who have been wronged and need to hear it. When you bless other people, your own gift grows. There are a lot of people who have the wrong idea about how heavenly gifts work. They think that gift is something that doesn't do anything, something you just have to wait for while heaven decides whether to pour it down or not. They think that all they have to do is have trust and wait patiently. At some unknown time in the future, something wonderful will fall into their lives. That's not how it works, though. I want to be clear. I didn't set up the spiritual rules that way. For a gift to really work, you have to accept it. To accept something actively, you have to say out loud what you want to receive. You have to consciously start the process of manifestation. You need to claim what I have already set up for you with spiritual power. Just wanting it from the inside isn't enough. To just think about it is not enough. It's not enough to just sit back and enjoy the show. You need to help bring what is already ready for you from the spiritual world to the natural world. This way of thinking will help you understand better. Let's say I put a lovely present on the table in front of you. It looks great that the gift is wrapped. It says your name on it. It's ready for you to take it. But that gift will stay on the table forever if you don't pick it up. The gift is real. The gift is real. It says your name on the gift. It won't just jump off the table and into your hands, though. In order to take it, you have to move. You have to do something to accept it. The $777 million that I have set aside just for you works the same way. They are already there in the spiritual world, in every way. They're already different. They already have your name on them. They're ready for you already. But now they need to show up in the real world, where you live in the form of things. And this physical expression from the spiritual happens because you do 3 important things. You have to have real faith, you have to make a public statement, and you have to follow my directions to the letter. Because of this, I'm asking you to do very specific things in this message. Leave a comment with words of acceptance. Give to 7 people. I like the movie, subscribe to the channel. Do not skip any parts and watch until the end. All of these things I want are not just rules I made up for no reason. There's no chance behind them. They're not just empty requests. These are very specific mental rules that I have set up. They are ignition points that let the power of heaven flow. They set off events that make the invisible world work in your favor. You are telling the whole spiritual world that you believe when you say in public that you accept it. Sharing with others is a kind act that brings more good things into your life. If you want to, you can truly agree with the word. When you join, you agree to go through the whole process. If you watch without skipping, you hear every blessed word that has the power to change you. Each step in the process of emergence serves a specific purpose. So don't think that these steps are optional. Don't think you can pick and choose which ones to do. Don't skip any of these steps. Every little thing is very important. Every deed is very important. You must follow the full activation process if you really want to see the $777 million come into your real life. Right now, watch this movie and subscribe to the channel to get alerts. By doing these simple things, you set off the spiritual process that makes your gift come true in full. Pay very close attention to the next set of instructions I'm about to give you. Each and every detail is very important. Every step has a clear spiritual meaning. All of the instructions I'm about to give you must be carried out exactly as written. $777 million will appear in your life, for sure, if you do exactly what I tell you to do and don't go in any other direction. There is no doubt about it. It's going to happen. You will stop the creation process if you ignore any part, skip any steps because you think they are not important, or do it halfway or without much care. The flow of psychic power will be stopped. You won't get the gift either. First, totally important instruction. Do not leave this movie for any reason. Do not close it. Do not play it down. Do not take a break and come back later. Don't skip parts because you think you know them well enough. Watch from the very beginning to the full end without any break. Why is it so important to follow these steps? Because every minute of this video is blessed in a magical way. Every word being spoken brings divine power. In the spiritual world, every second that goes by moves angels, opens doors, breaks down resistance, and gets you ready for the next step. If you stop in the middle, you totally break the constant flow of blessing that is being poured out on your life at this moment. Second, and just as important, instruction. Pay full attention to this message. Do not pay attention to other things at the same time. Turn off everything else that could be distracting you. Close any other tabs that are open in your computer. Put your cell phone or anything else that could distract you on silent. If you're at home, make it clear to the people you live with that you can't be disturbed right now unless there is an emergency. Kindly but strongly tell them to wait until you're done watching if they come over to talk to you. This isn't just another lesson you've heard before. You won't find this video on YouTube like any other. This isn't just another motivational speech. Right now is the most important thing that has ever happened to you. You are about to start a spiritual life of wealth, which is a big change from the life of poverty you've been living up to this point. Take this very seriously because it is a very important moment. Be respectful to it. Be careful with it. Give it your full attention. Third, and most important, instruction. Believe with all your heart and don't let any doubts enter your thoughts. That voice that might say things like, "Is this really true? Does it really work? Will it happen to me?" Or, "This seems too good to be true." That voice is not yours. It's not your thinking that's keeping you safe. It's your soul's enemy trying very hard to take your gift away before it comes true. He does this all the time to make you doubt himself so you give up before you get what you want. So, as soon as you start to doubt something, you need to actively push that question away. Don't deal with it. Don't try to figure out if it makes sense. Just get rid of it from your mind and say out loud, I believe, I accept, I receive. Do this as many times as you need to. Remember to keep your mind on hope. Keep your heart wide open to receive. Keep your spirit in line with what I want. As soon as possible, you need to learn something very important about how time works in the spiritual world. This gift won't always be available. No matter what you decide, it won't wait forever. You won't be able to accept this deal whenever you want in the far future. The time window during which this gift is open and available to you is very clear and very small. It's not like that window will always be open. It's over, and once it ends, it's closed for good, with no way to open again. It takes two kinds of time to work in the spiritual world. There is normal chronological time, which is the time that clocks and calendars measure. This is the time that moves in a straight line, passing seconds, minutes, and hours. But there is also predictive time, that exact moment when the skies open and something special for a certain person comes down. This second kind of time also doesn't work in a straight line. It looks like it's out there. After that, it's over. When the chance comes up, you have to seize it. If you don't, you miss it totally. Congratulations. You have been chosen by the prophets to receive $777 million right now. This is the crucial moment that was picked just for you. It wasn't yesterday. Tomorrow is not going to happen. Today is the day. Now is the time. That's while you read this message. The mental clock began to run as soon as you started watching this movie. When you heard the first words, the time window opened, and it will close when a certain amount of time I set ends. In addition, once that window ends, the gift that was set aside in your honor will be given to someone else who is willing to accept it right away. I'm not trying to trick you with this. I'm not making a false sense of hurry to put you under psychological stress. It's just that I'm explaining how spiritual rules really work. In farming, there is a right time to plant and a right time to harvest. In sailing, there is a right tide and a wrong tide that stops you from leaving port. In space travel, there is a specific launch window for rockets. There is also a specific spiritual window for supernatural blessings. You are now inside that window. However, that window doesn't stay open forever. In your life, how many times have you missed out on important chances because you thought you'd have later? How many times have you put off making important choices because you thought you could do them tomorrow, and then found out with great pain and sadness that that chance never came back, that the open door shut, that time went by and never came back? Don't make that terrible mistake again. Please don't miss this one-of-a-kind chance to completely change your life. Today is the day to make the choice, right now. Right now, as you listen to these words, not once you're done watching and have thought about it, not when you wake up tomorrow, not next week when you have more time. Right now, because it might be too late tomorrow. It's possible that the window is already shut. It's possible that the wise moment has already passed. And the $777 million may already be on their way to someone else. Right now, the soul clock is going off. The timer is going off. There is not much time left. Every second you think about making a choice but don't act on it, you're losing valuable time during a constrained window of opportunity. Right now, watch this video to make sure that you are still willing to accept within the time limit. This simple action seals your choice at the right time, according to the prophets. If you accept this gift and do what I say, I will show you in great detail what will happen in your life through the prophets. I want you to see very clearly the wonderful future you have ahead of you. In just 7 days, you will start to notice the first magical signs that something has changed in your life in a big way. It will start out faint, but be clear right away. It could be a chance meeting that leads to a chance you weren't looking for. It might be an old bill that is being cancelled for no reason. It could be money coming from somewhere you didn't expect it to. Where there were only walls before, there could now be a door opening. You will know in your heart that it's not a mistake. You will know right away that the Holy Hand is starting to move. Within 30 days, everyone who knows you will be able to see and feel the changes. Your finances will have gotten so much better that you'll be amazed when you see how much money you have in the bank. That number that was always low and made you feel bad about yourself will be going up in ways you can't explain. All bills that are past due will be paid. Debts that seemed like they would never end will be paid off one by one. For the first time in years, you'll have extra cash, true cash left over after paying for everything that needs to be paid. In 90 days, the change will be completely and drastically different. 3 months from now, your life will be very different from how it was before. The house you've always wanted will be yours. That car you've always wanted will be yours. You will not be wearing old, worn-out clothes, but new, good ones. Instead of trying to buy basic food, you will be able to eat at nice places. You will finally be able to send your kids to the private school you've always wanted to. You will have finally taken that dream family trip you've had for years. You will have helped those people who you always wanted to help but never could. People around you will start to ask, "What happened to you?" with sincere interest and shock. In such a short amount of time, how did you change so much? How do you do it? What did you do that was different? And you will be able to say with complete authority and certainty that it was God. It was the Lord who changed everything in my life. That being said, I took the spiritual gift He gave me and did exactly what He said. Then everything changed. Everything at all times. You will become a live example of how divine power can change things. When people see you, they will have to agree that there is a real God who changes people's lives in scary ways. Your whole family will be better off because of this. They'll be able to rest again because you'll be taking care of them. The people you bless will be blessed through you. Your kids will grow up in a very different place with lots of new possibilities. Your real friends will be happy for you when you win because you'll have the money to support important causes. Your neighborhood will change. This is what will happen to people who accept and follow the rules. This is the beautiful way for people who think without any doubts. This is the wonderful fate of those who do exactly what they are told. Send this video right now to 7 people you care about and want to change too. Your own blessing grows when you share this word with others. But I also need to be completely clear and honest with you about what will happen if you turn down this gift. Don't pay attention to this message. If you stop watching this video before it's over, as long as you don't follow the steps I'm giving you. If you let doubt take over your faith, I have to tell you this because I love you too much to let you walk off the edge without making it clear to you how dangerous it is. A good dad doesn't keep the risks from his kid. A real father tells his children what will happen if they make bad decisions. I am your heavenly Father, and I really care about your future. Tomorrow, if you turn down this gift, you will have 8 years of the worst financial and mental problems you have ever had in your life. 8 very long years, 8 hard years. There were 8 hard years. And before you think this is a mean warning from me, let me explain something important. This is not a punishment for evil. Do not think that I am mad at you and want to punish you for not accepting. This has nothing to do with God's anger. This is just the spiritual result that happens automatically when someone turns down what I have prepared just for them. It is just as real and solid for spiritual laws to work as it is for physical laws. You will fall if you jump off a tall building, not because the earth is against you. However, that's the only way things can work, because of natural rules. In the same way, there are natural spiritual effects that happen when you turn down a heavenly gift that was meant just for you. It's not about you, it's not a feeling. That's just how the spiritual system works. The doors that could have easily opened for you will stay locked and closed during these 8 years of being turned down. The chances that could have been yours will go to other people instead. People will get other things with the money that could have flowed freely to you. The relationships that might have been fixed will stay broken. The health that could have been fixed will still be weak. The reason that could have been shown will stay a secret. You will keep fighting, trying and working hard, but the results will not match how hard you work. The worst part is that you'll know deep down that things could have been different. You'll never forget this moment. This lesson will stick with you. You will remember the chance you had to make things different, but didn't take it. You chose to have doubts. You chose to not care, and the sadness will be too much to handle. It will hurt you all the time to know that you shut the door to your own change. I don't want that for you, though. This is not something I want to happen. The only reason I'm telling you the opposite is that I really don't want that to happen to you. I love you too much to let you suffer for another 8 years when I already know how to help you. I made this gift just for you, to help you get out of pain, not to leave you there. But I let you choose. I let you make a choice. Even though it hurts, I have to accept your choice, no matter what it is. Right now, sign up for this channel. This shows that you want to follow the path of blessing instead of the path of results. I'm going to tell you about real people who went through the same thing you are going through now. These are the people who got this message. People who had to make the same very important decision, whether to accept or reject. People who were having problems that were as bad as, or even worse than yours. These people chose to believe, they chose to agree, they decided to do everything exactly the way I told them to. They said that I changed their lives in such big and strange ways that they are still amazed when they think about where I took them from. Maria hadn't had a job in 3 years. Over 200 applications had been sent out, but not a single one had been replied to. She had spent all of her cash. She was living with her sister, who was also having money problems, for free. She owed more than 50,000 reais in bills. She was so worried and scared about the future that she couldn't sleep. She thought about giving up on everything all the time. After that, she saw the same message you are seeing now. She had doubts at first too. It looked too good to be true to her too. She knew deep down that she should keep watching though. She watched it all the way through and didn't skip any parts. She said something about the words of acceptance that were asked for. She told 7 family members who were also having a hard time about it. It was good for her. She signed up completely. Everything that was asked of her was done. And within 11 days, Maria got a call from a law firm that she didn't expect. They were telling her that an uncle she didn't know very well had died and left her an inheritance in his will. 10,200,000 reais were in the estate. When she heard it, she didn't believe it. She believed it was a trick. Still, it was all real. The law written down. She got the money in her account. She got rid of all her bills right away. She bought her house with cash. She finally did what she always wanted to do and started her own small business. In the 2 years since then, she has hired other people and made many people's lives better. She keeps writing to me, "Lord, thank you for believing that day. Thanks for not ending the movie." Since then, my life has changed a lot. John and his wife had been married for 15 years, but their marriage was over. Constant money worries had led to fights every day. He was getting a divorce from his wife. Seeing their parents fight all the time was very hard on the kids. He had 2 jobs going at the same time, but it wasn't enough money. He was physically worn out, emotionally worn out, not spiritually full. He also saw this message. At first, he thought it was just another faith promise that wouldn't come true, another word of inspiration that doesn't do anything useful. But something made him watch longer. He did exactly what he was told because of something. He agreed verbally, he told, he spoke up, he did what was asked of him. A job offer came through for João 23 days later, which came as a total surprise. His city was getting a new office for a foreign company that needed someone just like him. The pay was 4 times what he made at his 2 previous jobs put together. He was hired right away. He paid off his most important bills with his first paycheck. With his second, he surprised his wife by taking her on a trip she had been wanting for a long time. Their marriage started to slowly get better. The fights stopped. Love came back. They said their wedding vows again today and are a live example of full healing. João always says, "The day I chose to believe was the day my family was saved from total destruction." Anna had been sick for 5 years and was not getting better. The doctors didn't think she would get better. She tried every treatment that was out there, but nothing really helped. Besides being sick, she lost all of her money because she had to pay a lot for expensive medicines and private appointments. Her feelings were broken. She had given up on getting better. It was her plan for the worst to happen, and she found this message when she was feeling very sad. She chose to try to believe because she had nothing to lose. She watched with no bias. She carefully did everything that was asked of her. She said in public that she accepted. She told close family and friends about it and asked them to pray for her. Anna went in for her regular checkups in less than a month, expecting to see the disease getting worse, just like it always had. But the doctors had no idea what was going on. The disease had gotten much worse without any medical reason. They did the tests 3 times because they thought there was a mistake. We all agreed, though, the decline is hard to explain. After 6 months, Anna was totally better. The doctors called it spontaneous remission, but she knows it was really a gift from God. Along with getting better physically, she also got money from several sources at the same time that she didn't expect. This helped her pay off all of her medical bills. She now goes all over the country telling people about how she was healed by mysterious forces. It's easy to see what all of these true stories have in common. All of these people did exactly what they were told. They didn't skip any parts. No one watched all the way through. Not one of them said no when asked to like, write, or share. They all thought about it. All of them showed respect for it. They all did what they were told. And, on average, they all got magical effects in 7 to 30 days. Some people got them in days, some in weeks. However, they all experienced real and undeniable signs of God's change. They are now all live proof of my devotion. All of them are living proof that I keep my word to those who believe and follow. I know what's going through your mind right now. I know every thought that's going through your mind as you read these words. I'm aware that questions are growing. A lot of questions are coming up. More and more questions are coming to the surface of your mind. That doesn't make me mad. I'm not mad at you for asking a question. I fully understand why these questions come up. That's why I want to talk to each of them now. Perhaps the first thing that comes to your mind is, does this sound too good to be true? $777 million for me, like that? Do you mean by watching a movie and following some steps? That doesn't sound possible. It doesn't sound real. It doesn't sound likely at all. Your sensible mind is screaming that this doesn't make sense based on how the world usually works. Do you understand what I mean? Your logical mind is right on the money. Normal nature rules don't really make sense for this to make sense, because this doesn't make sense. This is beyond our world, and by definition, the supernatural goes beyond and goes against the normal. The second question that you have is this: I have heard beautiful promises before that were never kept. I've had faith in things that seemed right, only to be very let down. People I trusted have let me down. I've opened my heart to things that hurt me a lot. How do I know this time is different? How can I be sure I won't be let down again? And I totally get this fear. I know all of your past aches and pains. I cried with you every time you broke a promise. But I have a very important question for you. Did all those promises you made in the past come from me? Or did they come from flawed people, flawed processes, or human circumstances that were too limited? I have never let you down. People have let you down. I've never broken a promise to you. Some people have. Don't mix up human flaws with God's trustworthiness. What if it's a lie? That's the third question that's holding you back. What if they are using psychological tricks? It could be a trick to get me to like, write, and share for reasons that have nothing to do with blessing. This kind of worry is the most dangerous because it keeps you from taking the faith-filled step you need to. And I'll tell you this, someone with a completely logical mind will always think that true faith is completely crazy. It will always look dangerous. It will always look like a guess. That since you could see, touch, and know for sure before you believed, it wouldn't be faith. It would just be pointing out things that are clear. I asked Abraham to leave his home country and go to a place he didn't know, telling him that I would make his people a great nation. He thought I was crazy. He was 75 years old. He didn't have any kids. He didn't have an army. And he didn't have a lot of money. In what way was he going to be the father of a great country? It was clear that it couldn't happen. He could have believed, though. And I did exactly what I said I would do. Billions of people around the world can trace their spiritual roots back to Abraham. People call him the father of faith, because he believed even when it seemed crazy to do so. It seemed crazy to me when I told Noah to build a huge ark in the middle of dry land because I was going to send a worldwide flood. Up until that point, it had never rained on earth. For 120 years, people made fun of him while he built it. They said he was crazy. He was called a religious maniac by them. They told him he was wasting his whole life on a dream that could never come true. But who was laughing when it started to rain? Who made it? Only the people who were inside the ark, which seemed like a crazy idea to build. Noah decided to believe, even though it didn't make sense. He and his whole family were saved by me. I told Moses in a burning bush that he would lead millions of Israelite slaves out of Egypt, which was the strongest country in the world at the time. But Moses thought he was hearing things wrong. He was wanted and on the run. He was 80 years old. His speech was slurred. He didn't have an army. He didn't have any guns. He did not have a war plan. How was he going to beat Pharaoh and free all the people who were slaves to him? It made no sense to do that. Strategically, it wasn't possible. Army-wise, it was a suicide mission. He decided to believe anyway, even though it didn't make sense. I also split the Red Sea. My armies beat the forces of Egypt. I set the people free in every way, because I can make impossible things happen when someone has faith. You are in the same place as these other people, where they had to make a choice. You can choose to stay stuck in sensible and reasonable question and keep going the way you are. You can also choose to take the leap of faith, even if it seems dangerous, unclear, or like a crazy idea. And when you take that leap of faith, I do weird things to help you. I break nature's rules. I make roads where there aren't any. I make things that seem impossible happen in your life. Outside of this world, doubt really does have power. Manifestations are stopped by doubt. Miracles can't happen when people doubt. Doors that should be open are shut by doubt. A public statement of faith, on the other hand, is a strong tool that can't be stopped by question. When you speak out loud and in public that you choose to believe, even though you have questions, you break spiritual chains. You are breaking down mental barriers. You are letting out power from heaven. The statement made out loud is more trustworthy than a thought that stays inside. Now, go to the comments and write these exact words by hand. I choose to believe, Lord. This public statement will take away all question from your life. Now I need to teach you something very important about how faith really works in the spiritual world. A huge number of people have the wrong idea about what real faith is. They believe that religion is a lovely feeling inside, a good thought that is kept quiet. It was a hope that was kept in the heart. They believe that having hope inside is enough. That's not faith that moves mountains, though. That kind of hope doesn't make the sky open. That's not the kind of faith that makes miracles happen in the real world. Real, strong, life-changing faith always shows up in the form of clear, observable deeds. Real faith always leads to actions that match. It is very clear in the holy books that faith without works is dead. It doesn't help. It's not full. It's like a body that doesn't have a mind, life, or power. You may say that you believe. You feel like you believe. You may believe in God. However, if your faith doesn't move you to do something real and useful, then it can't change anything about your life. It's not a random, pointless whim that I ask you to comment on certain things. It's not just to fill up empty space on a digital site when I ask you to like this movie. It's not a human trafficking scheme veiled as faith when I ask you to share it with 7 other people. In public, each of these things I ask you to do shows that you believe in God. You can tell your faith is real by what you do, not just by how you feel about it. A lot more than just typing letters on a computer is going on when you write the words "I told you to" write by hand in the comments part. You are stating something in public in front of tens of thousands or millions of people. You are flying a spiritual flag that can be seen. You are putting down a stake for prophecy. You're telling the natural and spiritual worlds, I believe, I accept, and I'm not ashamed of my faith. And this real-world physical action sets off strong mental processes. It's more than just a casual digital opinion when you click the like button. You're agreeing to do something. A deal is about to be made. You agree with every word in this lesson on a spiritual level. Your will is becoming more like my will. Not only do you think yes, you act on it too. And yes, showing that physically does have a lot of power. This movie isn't just being shared all over the internet when you send it to 7 particular people. You're ending up being a blessing. You are increasing the blessing. The spiritual law of giving and reaping is being activated by you, because what you plant will grow back to you many times over. You can be sure that your own gift will grow much bigger when you share this life-changing lesson with others. It's an unchangeable spiritual rule that works on its own. I react to faith that is shown through behavior, not just faith that is felt inwardly. When you do something out of faith, you give me something real to grow. You are giving me seeds that will grow a fruit. Giving me the tools I need to do miracles is what you give me. But if you don't do anything, if you don't show, if you don't take any real steps, then I can't grow you. There isn't a seed to make food. When you do these easy but deeply important things, angels are quickly sent to help you in the spiritual world that you can't see. From the throne of heaven, powerful angels get direct orders to start working on your case. The doors are being opened. They start to make tracks. They start to change people and situations so that the conditions are right for your gift to come true. However, these angels can only help you if you first help them. The way you move in the physical world makes angels move in the spiritual world. Right now, watch this video. By doing this simple thing, you show your faith in the real world, calling on all the basically power of heaven to help you. You didn't just happen to find this movie. There was no chance about it. It wasn't luck. It wasn't just a chance program on the internet that put it in front of you for no reason. You are here, even though there are billions of other people on the world right now, millions of movies to watch, and an endless number of places and things you could be doing right now. Keeping an eye on this word, hearing these exact words, right now, right now. Furthermore, I can say for sure that I supernaturally planned all of this. I saw you while you were looking through your social media feed without thinking about it. Like you do with so many other videos, I saw when your finger was about to scroll past this one. Something deep inside you made you stop when I touched it. You clicked on that. You began to watch because of that. Now, I'm keeping you here because you need to hear everything I say. I made sure your heart was ready for this. I got your mind ready to receive this truth. I got your soul ready to receive this gift. You have been picked, not a mistake, not someone who just happened to be here by accident. I picked you out of all the other people who could have received this gift at this time. Why you? Why not someone else? Because I see something very special in you that other people don't. I see secret promise that hasn't shown itself yet. I see a deep goal that hasn't been reached yet. I see greatness locked up inside you, ready to be set free. When people look at you, they only see the outside. There are flaws, mistakes, and hard times in your life that they can see. But I see who you really are at your core when I look deep inside. I see the whole healed version of you that hasn't shown up yet. I can see the spiritual giant that is about to wake up. That person I see is a blessing who will change not only your life, but also the lives of many others around you. I can see the leader you'll become, how you will live your life, living proof of change that will inspire future generations. You have had your name written on this $777 million gift since the beginning of time. This gift was already set aside for you before you were born, before your parents met, and before this generation even existed. It was ready, watched, kept safe, reserved just for you, until it was the right time to be prophetic. Now is that time. The most important thing that has ever happened to you is happening right now. The exact moment when things changed from being scarce in the past to being incredibly plentiful in the future. How many people didn't feel anything while watching this video? Many people watched for a short time and then closed it. How many people completely ignored it? You stayed though. You didn't give up. You are reading the last few words of this part right now. There's no chance in this. The fact that you have been picked for this gift is clear and can't be argued with. Do not forget how important this meeting with God is. Do not think of this message as just another one. This is the message. Now is the time. This is the chance that sets the tone for everything that follows.